I grew up in a family where we were doing this stuff all the time. My brother's Kevin Yagher, and he created Freddy Krueger, and he created the Chucky doll from Child's Play and the Crypt Keeper. And so we were always the kind of kids that would come up from the basement and go, "Hi, Mom," and our foreheads would go, "Dum, dum, dum, dum," or whatever. We cut our fingers off, and blood would come squirting out. We were all constantly experimenting with special effects. I mean, I'd never really tried before until I got in my 20s and I came out to Los Angeles and I was acting. I had a lot of time on my hands, in between gigs, but I was still collecting models at the time. And I remember buying this one model, this Dune sandworm, and it was such a terrible model. And I thought, this is so bad. I bet I can do a better job myself. So I made a little sand dune model with a tiny ship and stuff like that. And I thought, this is really cool. And then I decided to do one of my favorite monsters, the Curse of the Werewolf. And I did that, and my brother saw it, and he said, you could sell that. And I went to a place called Kitcraft, and I took in a cast version of this Curse of the Werewolf, and I went to the manager and I said, the guy who owns the store, and I said, what do you think about this? He goes, might sell. Let's put it in the window, see what happens. It sold within an hour. And he called me back. You got any more? And for the next several years, all I do is just make stuff for Kitcraft and bring it in. And suddenly all the other special effects artists started to see this, and they all started doing it. And out of that was kind of born this new hobby called the garage kit hobby. And from that came, I mean, the main cashier ended up being the president of Sideshow, Tom Gilliland. And, out of this grew Sideshow, grew Moebius, grew Pegasus. And I've worked for all of these companies, and it just took off like a rocket. So that's kind of how I got started. It's kind of cool. As you can see behind me, I've done quite a bit of it. So we have these two different versions. One is a fully painted version that can be enjoyed immediately, paint designed by this great genius called David Fisher. One is the version where people get to put their own spin on it. And I'm very excited to see what people do with this kit version. I'm excited to see their ideas, and maybe there's a place that we can go and we can share photographs and compare and contrast and talk about it. So I'm very excited about these characters, and certainly with the depth and breadth and height of the amount of work Jason has done, there's just so much room for growth, and I'm really excited about this piece and about the possibility of taking on some of these other characters, because they're all so unique and they leave so much room for creativity and interpretation, not only on my part, but also in collaboration with the collectors themselves, which is one of my favorite things to do.